God made a new covenant. God said in Jeremiah chapter 31, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. This shall be the covenant that I will make. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more." God's message is a stark contrast to the storm that had been raging inside me for years. For the first time, it didn't sound like an ancient, dusty text. It sounded like a lifeline. This grace wasn't just to help us get by, but to fundamentally change us from the inside out. My whole life had been about rules, about trying and failing to be good enough. Every morning, I would wake up with the weight of my past, the memories of all the things I'd done wrong, the mistakes that defined me. The guilt was a physical thing, a constant companion on my back. I knew I needed grace, but I thought it was something I had to earn, a prize for good behavior. Jeremiah, however, said it was something that God would do. It is God's grace to be received by faith. That's when it hit me. Faith wasn't just believing in a story. It was a decision to trust that God fulfilled his promise of forgiveness for me. He gave his Son, Jesus Christ, who died for my sins and whom he raised from the dead. Jesus said after he rose again, "Thus it is written, and thus it behooved Christ to suffer and arise from the dead the third day, and that repentance and remission of sins should be preached in his name among all nations, beginning at Jerusalem." God did not only forgive my sins, he remembered them no more. It felt impossible, yet it is the truth. It was the only thing that made sense. I let go of the idea that I had to fix myself. I simply said, "I believe." The weight began to lift. It wasn't a dramatic lightning bolt or a booming voice from the sky. It was a quiet shift, an internal unclenching. The fear that I was constantly disappointing God started to fade, replaced by a deep sense of being known and loved. God's unfailing love, like a shepherd gathering his flock, resonated deeply. I realized I was part of that flock. The weariness that had settled in my bones gave way to a gentle rest, and the sorrow I'd held on to for so long began to transform into a quiet joy. I wasn't defined by my failures anymore. I was defined by his love, a love I had finally, truly received.